Ready.
All right. Live from the cockpit in Houston, Texas, it's the 458th edition of Houston Wrestling Radio. This is Abel.
This is Chris.
And thank you so much for tuning in today, guys. We very much appreciate each and every one of you. If you are watching this live in Technicolor on the YouTubes, make sure you log in to your YouTube account. That way you can chat along with us in the handy-dandy live chat here, and I can involve you as best as I can in the show. So, feel free to say hi, fact check, ask questions, talk shit, whatever. Now, if you're not watching this live, that's okay. You can still interact with us on Facebook, facebook.com/Houston Wrestling Radio, or you could just drop a comment down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell. That way you know whenever we're online, because we don't know when we're going to go online sometimes. So, it's a crapshoot half the time. Yeah.
Hey!
What up, Chris?
Man! It feels like it's been a while.
It has been a while.
Probably because we were supposed to do this last Thursday.
Yeah, we didn't do it last Thursday. Why didn't we do it last Thursday?
I was at the rodeo.
Oh, you were
Yeehaw.
rodeoing.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you get some smoked briskets?
Deep fried bloomin' onion. Bacon wrapped sausage on a stick.
Oh, okay. Okay, how was that?
Damn good.
All right.
Deep fried Oreos.
Mm-hmm.
Funnel cake.
Okay.
You can't go to a carnival without funnel cake.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to. And I am now a believer of HWR.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
good.
You saw HAR?
Yeah.
Okay,
They're
cool.
good.
Randy
they played every song.
Randy could have told you that.
I know. They played every song I remembered, and then they played some songs I didn't know they played.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun. It was a great show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And
I'm glad you had fun. I'm glad you had fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was due.
You are due. You are due up for some fun.
Speaking of fun,
Yes.
this is going to be different because we normally do preview shows.
Right.
This is one action-packed review show.
Yeah, it is.
And we're starting off with Doomsday. Hit me with it.
Doomsday Forever. The last and final Doomsday show of all time. We all know, at least you should know by now, what was going on, right? This was the last Doomsday show for a very, very good reason, because the creator, founder, mastermind, the father of Doomsday Wrestling, Greg Vallet, aka Tex Lone Star, passed away in November. And this was going to be the final show to be an in memoriam type show, a dedication, a tribute, if you will, both to the legacy of Tex, but also to the financial benefit of the family of Greg Vallet. So, yeah, it was, for those of us that were in the know, that we knew what was going on, this was, I would say, pretty emotional going into the show. Seeing so many people there that were fans, that have known about Doomsday, have grown up here in Houston with Doomsday, because Doomsday's been around over 2 decades.
Yep.
I mean, I didn't really realize that, God damn, it's been that long, but it has. So it was like, oh God, this is the last one, because the head guy in charge of it's gone. Tragically passed away very young age. So yeah, it was pretty emotional. Now, I felt like shout out to Hunter Mello, aka Monty Del Monte. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Hunter for doing a very damn good job at making the show what it needed to be and not more. Because this could have very easily been a show that is just going to pull on the heartstrings and that's it. And it's going to have bleeding heart moments every single time. And while I'm kind of still in grieving, right? And I still have like, crunchy feelings about what happened. I didn't need this to be a funeral. I needed it to be the final Doomsday show. And that's exactly what it was. At the top of the show, you had the refs come out, dancing along with the regular Doomsday opening with the dings of the bell, showing the old posters coming up like they do every time. The only difference is they had the voiceover of Tex doing his opening spiel of welcome to the Alpha and Omega of pro entertainment, welcome to the pinnacle of sport, welcome to the Mecca of wrestling, or however he says it. I know I fucked that up. This is Doomsday Wrestling, and he just voiced over that. And that was fucking awesome. That was great. Referees come out, do their little fucking dance and everything, and that was awesome. And then usually that's when Tex Lone Star music hits, and Tex hits the ring for his opening monologue. Well, Tex Lone Star music hits, and of course he doesn't come out. But they let the song fucking play. And for those of us that know what was happening, bro.
That was the gut punch.
Tears, goosebumps. That right there was I like, even right now trying to talk about it is it's rough. It's rough. But then after that, show goes on like normal Doomsday formula. And out comes the second in command, the other person that's going to be ring announcing, or commentary for that night, Hunter, Monty Del Monte, coming out, getting booed to all hell and back. And now we start the show.
We start the show.
Chris?
Oh, man. A little pregame action. I had some edibles.
Yeah.
Before I left to pick up Scott.
Oh, God.
Well, I had some edibles before I went to the airport to buy a flight, and then I went to pick up Scott.
Okay.
And then from Scott's, we went to Patrick's to pick him and Gus up, and there we had some THC seltzers. We had more pre-rolls. We had more edibles. So I was on fucking warp 9.
Okay.
By the time we sat there in the VIP corners and we're drinking I'm like 4 beers in before we even get there and start watching the show.
Yeah.
And I'm oblivious to a lot of stuff that's going on around me, but the one thing I'm able to catch with my vision and my height and the angle where I was at was that there was a hat in front of the microphone where Tex was. And before even the refs came out, when I noticed it, I was already feeling what you're feeling now.
Yep.
And it's weird to 20-something Doomsday shows, and you expect to see the face, hear the voice, have the humor, have the aura that he created in the show from the very beginning.
Right.
And not seeing it there, it's obvious what the show was about, but between seeing it in the moment, hearing everyone around me, and my emotions being numb, drugged to fuck.
Because you were high and drunk. You were fucking crossfaded.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It got me.
Okay.
It legit did get me.
Now, let me pause you right there. Because it seems as though you entered the arena when Tex's hat was already on the table. Let me tell you something else that was at the table that you probably didn't know. So Tex's hat was on the table, but behind the table was the chair. And there was something that was in a bag that seemed like it was a bag that had structure, that was holding something that had structure to it. Now, it was never confirmed as to what it actually was in the confines of the show. But Portia and I spotted it, and we're like, could that be Greg's urn?
Oh, shit.
I don't know if it was. That might be wild speculation, but it was something. I don't know what. And if it was, great. I'm glad he was there with us, you know? So, yeah, I but again, that's me jumping to conclusions, but there was an object that was brought out with the hat. The hat was brought out, no music, no lights, no nothing. It was right before the show, maybe 10, 15 minutes before you showed up. Mm-hmm. And then put down the hat, put something in the chair.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, yeah, sorry.
I had no idea when Monty Del Monte came out and started doing his shtick that we were going to be, well, that I was going to be in attendance, without hyperbole, probably the longest pro wrestling match ever sat through, stood through, at times fell asleep standing, to waking up to more roars and it ending the way it ended.
Yikes. I would say that might be true, but it might not be true depending on how you count Royal Rumbles. Because Royal Rumbles are usually an hour and a half to 2 hours.
So this was typical Doomsday Wrestling.
Yeah. And
just to be transparent, a sharp, quick reminder of why I didn't go to every show. Because the ticket said 8:30, the poster said 8:30, it was 8:30, nothing. 8:45, nothing. 9 o'clock, nothing. 9:15, nothing. 9:25, oh, we're starting to hear some rumblings. 9:35, the refs come out. 9:40, Monty's yapping. And 9:45, the actual match, I guess the actual match started. And we were out the door at 11:30. The match ended at 11:30.
Yeah.
So there has not been a Royal Rumble that was almost 2 hours long.
Okay.
I don't even think the greatest Royal Rumble, the 40-man or the 50-man that was in Saudi, was that long either.
Yeah.
That was long.
Okay, so because I didn't time it.
I pseudo-timed it.
You did? Okay. All right. Between the drunk and the high.
For facts, not for complaints.
Gotcha.
Oh, that shit was long.
Okay. So was it probably like close to 3 hours?
Close to 2.
Close to 2?
Yeah,
okay.
Close to 2.
All right.
So, it had to have been, because we heard rumblings throughout weeks in advance of the show that every single person ever on Doomsday's roster that was willing and able to be there would be there. And then the day of, Hope Kennedy, Hot Flash, Eric Hamilton, Top Banana, other friends of us on our Facebook timelines, pictures are coming up of them preparing, them being in the area, them getting set for the show. I'm like, whoa, there is a lot of people that are going to be on this roster.
Yeah.
Which turned out to be so.
Yeah.
Do you remember everything?
Do
you taking any notes? Do you remember the entries? Do you remember the eliminations? Obviously, we know who won.
Right. No, I was not taking notes. Okay. I was not. I was enjoying the moment, enjoying the show, and trying to soak it all in as best as I could, because that's what my soul needed. I needed to soak it in. I wasn't going there to like,
wrestling historian.
Right. Yeah.
You were there as Abel the fan.
Right. I was there to be a fan and not to be a critic of wrestling, so to speak. Right. I was there to actually watch it, So, and I would, okay. One thing that I didn't realize going in, well, let me back up. Let me say one thing that I did realize going in is, holy shit, this is all about Greg. This is all about his passing. This is a tribute to him and to his creation. And so I was as prepared as I could have been to ride that emotional roller coaster of, oh God, he's gone, and this is the show for him. What I didn't think about was, oh my God, this not only is the last hurrah and last goodbye for Tex Lone Star, this is the last hurrah and the last goodbye for everybody on that roster, because everybody on the Doomsday roster only wrestles for Doomsday for good reason, because they're not trained wrestlers. They were all backyarders. They just wanted to perform. There was some people that had some training, but for the most part, they were all just wanting to act. Mm-hmm. They were more actors and improv people than they were wrestlers. So it's not like, okay, Doomsday's over, let's go at TASW, let's go over to Booker's, let's get a contract with NWA. No, that's not who these guys were and are. So when people were coming in and getting eliminated, I realized, oh shit, this is the last time I'm going to see Fishy Pete. oh shit, this is the last time I'm going to see Top Banana. Oh fuck, this is the last time I'm going to see Torcules. Oh my god.
Larry Christmas.
This is the last time I see Larry Christmas. This is the last time I see, oh my god, Anomalia, you're gone.
The Russian Bear.
Yeah, you're gone. Oh my god. And like the Beefy Joe, the feelings that I had for Tex going away, the original son of a bitch, right? The feelings I had for Tex going away, and the mourning that I was prepared to do.
You weren't prepared for everyone.
I wasn't prepared for everyone. Right?
And that didn't hit me until after the show was over.
Oh, it hit me right when the first elimination happened, bro. Right when the first person came out, and I realized, yeah, oh.
You know why? You know why it didn't take me until the end?
Because you were high as shit.
And that helped me take in the show in the moment for what it was. It wasn't, in the moment that bell rang, it wasn't a funeral. It wasn't a wake. It wasn't a burial. It was a wrestling show with a storyline.
Right.
and the drugs that made me able to just enjoy that in the moment for what it was, instead of letting my feelings get in the way. You know, no strings attached. This is another Doomsday show.
Yeah.
I've already mourned for the past couple of weeks waiting for this show. Probably going to mourn a little bit more with everyone else in the ring crying and taking pictures and shaking hands. Let me enjoy these 2 hours for what we came to see. A wrestling show.
Right.
A comedy wrestling show.
And that's what it was. So if we get away from that part, now talking about the morning and oh my god, it's the last one and everybody's leaving. Yeah, let's get away from that for a second. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about if we weren't in the know. Because I think there were some people that were in the audience that had no fucking clue. Yeah. Right? Who are like, oh, there's a cool thing going on at a brewery. Oh, let's go check it out. Oh, Doomsday's having another show. Great. We're going to go to a Doomsday show. And they probably didn't know, right?
I saw some BA regulars in there.
Oh, definitely.
That were there just because, this is another cool thing that happened in the brewery because they've had flea markets there. They've had drag shows there. They have MMA matches there now. They're trying to do another independent wrestling show there. So there's regulars that go there every other week, if not every week. They're like, oh, there's a wrestling show happening? Let me go check this out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's this. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember Numbers or Meridian or Fitzgerald's.
Yeah.
Or I remember this back in the day.
Right.
Yeah.
So for those that weren't in the know of what happened with Greg, right? If you, other than Greg's absence, like, oh, why is he not coming out? Oh, okay, that's weird. Other than that, yeah, it had a whole goddamn story and it was cohesive and it was fucking funny as shit.
Yeah.
Right? So, and the story was, spoiler alert, because you can still catch this on YouTube if you really need to, this is the last wrestling match ever because Doomsday protocols have been initiated. What are Doomsday protocols? We don't know, but some sort of Doomsday protocol has been initiated, and now wrestlers will come out to the ring periodically, and they're going to fight for the Doomsday Championship. And the first competitor is current reigning Doomsday Champion, Fishy Pete. So Fishy Pete is out, and then we just start getting one after the other. And like, I think entry 3 was Precious Jewels, and entry 4 was Charlene Lone Star.
Yeah.
Right? Daughter of Tex Lone Star, the 16-year-old prodigy that's been 16 for 20 years. And they were brawling, and this wasn't like a Royal Rumble where it was over the top elimination. It was pinfall submission, right? Okay, cool. Well, they just started brawling, and they just went away. Precious Jules and Charlene. So that just left other folks. And then out came Banana and Beefy Joe. And there was people in there that I didn't recognize, probably from either before my time or after my time, because I was kind of more in the
middle,
in the numbers era, right? Not the Fitzgerald's era, more in the numbers era. Yeah. When the second in command wasn't Monty Del Monte, when it was Dirty Sanchez. Yeah, that was a great era because they were trying to run almost monthly or quarterly. Yeah. So they had some really, really good stuff. So I didn't recognize everybody.
Neither did I.
Which was cool. Yeah, which was cool. One person that I did recognize, that I didn't recognize, that I was like, oh crap, I really wish I would have been able to see more of this guy, was a dude called Laundromat.
He sat in the corner, Indian style, folding his clothes.
He just had a basket of laundry and was literally just folding laundry. He wasn't fucking wrestling.
That was priceless.
That was so hilarious.
You know what would be even better?
What?
If that was the character's debut.
I mean, maybe. I don't know if it is because I didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it could have been his debut.
Yeah.
Lunchador was out there, alter egos. So I wish that we would have seen a little bit more alter egos of some people because we had Torquilles, but I was kind of hoping for Mr. Cuddles too.
Yeah.
But no, we only had Torquilles. Shout out Eddie, good job. Thank you for coming out and putting out the last Torquilles performance, which was great.
Unless it isn't.
I mean,
not to jump ahead.
Never say never in wrestling, right? But I'm pretty sure. Like I said before, I'm pretty sure none of these guys are trained wrestlers, so they're not going to wrestle for any other independent promotions.
That's not where I'm going at all.
Oh, okay. Where are you going?
I'm not sure if anyone that actually attended the show noticed this, but they sold posters. And there were two-sided posters, and they were basically a collage of all the original posters for every single Doomsday show up to that point.
Yeah.
And then at the bottom of the back side of that poster, in a larger font, was the show poster of that night.
Right.
And there
Doomsday Forever.
Yeah. And there's space for two more.
I saw what you were talking about. I saw that. But I think the space was for maybe like autographs or something. That's how I read that to be.
Did Calendar ever show up?
Calendar did not show up.
Could we be looking at an MCU multiverse kind of thing?
I mean, maybe, but
there's still there might. You just mentioned that we didn't get Mr. Cuddles.
Right.
There's some other old school characters and maybe a couple of new ones.
The kosher killer
that we might not have seen. It's possible that we could do a redo and have some of those people.
Yeah.
Do other characters.
Yeah.
Up there.
So there was definitely some names that are missing, but I think names were missing probably because of, wrestling. There's always, drama and shit and all that. So, maybe that's what it is, but I don't think that you could have every single person that was ever on a wrestling roster, show up for this. I think they did as good of a job as they could. Like fucking Chad. Like Chad wasn't there probably for, good reasons.
Yeah.
Especially if you know a little bit about what's going on with Chad, so I get it. So, yeah. As much as fun to speculate and maybe keep those hopes alive that, maybe they did leave those room open because we didn't see Calendar and we didn't see fucking Chad and the cheerleaders and we didn't see, Mr. Cuddles and we didn't see this and that and this other person that I probably can't think of right now. El Bagno. We didn't see El Bagno. Yeah.
Montezuma's Revenge, we didn't see him either.
Right. The priest guy, the big tall priest guy, who is also your worst nightmare.
Yeah.
He didn't play his alter ego of the priest.
Dirty Sanchez wasn't there.
Dirty Sanchez wasn't there at all. Right. Mm-hmm. So there was people that weren't there that were part of Doomsday lore.
Yeah.
But I really don't think that it can live without Tex. And this was just a monumental effort by his best friends to put on a show to be a little bit of a fundraiser for Tex's mom. Mm-hmm. I really don't think that they're going to keep it going because I think this is the end of Breaking Bad season 5, right?
So let's do Better Call Saul.
I mean, I guess, but even that's a prequel. I guess that's a bad example to bring up, but the reason why I say that is because the end of Breaking Bad season 5 is that's it. You don't need any more. It was a fucking masterpiece. You don't need to go any further with Breaking Bad. And I don't think you need to go any further with Doomsday. And I know I'm comparing fucking Doomsday Wrestling, the silly little haha backyard wrestling show that kind of gained notoriety and is actually respected, to Emmy Award-winning fucking Breaking Bad, one of the greatest TV shows of all time. I understand the hyperbole there, but
you can easily call it the Big Bang and start over from scratch.
I mean, I guess so, but bro, aside from the loopholes that you could get with the fucking lore, I don't think that they're gonna do that because of the circumstances. Come on, man. Yeah.
So this was basically a 2-hour gauntlet match.
Right.
That ended with
in between here and there was a guy that came out who was like, hey, I have this conspiracy that outside of these walls, the entire world, the bombs are dropping because of, and it's all Doomsday. It's all the Doomsday is the key and Precious Jewels is the key. And he came out a couple of times with a fucking tinfoil hat and everything. And then somebody else came out and was like, oh, don't worry. Don't listen to this conspiracy theorist. Everything is fine. Don't go to the website. I forgot what the website was. Doomsday Truthers at WordPress.com or some shit like that. Don't go to that website. We're definitely not dropping bombs everywhere. You're safe here. Just enjoy the last ever. Like, okay. Turns out, like, right before, I guess you could say the third act, is, it's revealed that, the Doomsday Championship is the key. And Precious Jewels is the key. Because the guy that was saying, no, don't worry, was actually the Russian Bear. And the Russian Bear somehow discovered that the Doomsday Championship was a conduit for all of the power in the world. So whoever defeated other wrestlers, it became more powerful, and the champion can then channel the energy to rule the world. And he needed Precious Jewels to be the champion so that he could control that power, because he controls Precious Jewels, because of course, why not? Yeah. So that he could take over the world and bomb the world and restart everything right here in Houston, Texas, with just a few people that witnessed the glory. And then and then people forgot that Charlene Lone Star has not eliminated. And Charlene Lone Star comes out to save the day, defeats the Russian Bear, defeats Precious Jewels, and is the last ever Doomsday champion
of the world.
And her
world champion. Her wish was to give the power back to the people. And to just let everybody remember the greats of Davy Crockett, General Sam Houston, Mama Nympha, Marvin Zidler, and Greg motherfucking Vallet. Ah, I got chills. Damn, hearing that again.
That was
fun.
That was the best way. That was the best way to end that, man.
Yeah,
it's the best way.
Show's over. The wrestlers come back. They're in the ring, hugging. Fans are over ringside. Oh man, it was a lot to take in. Yeah. I had to leave because I couldn't hold it in.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a hell of a show.
It was a hell of a show, man. So, do we want to try to move on to talk about something else, or do we need to say anything else about Doomsday?
Godspeed.
Yeah. That's it. Rest in peace, Greg.
Yeah.
You're a fucking legend, dude. You're a legend. What else do we have to talk about?
So, part of the reason why I'm glad I was litty titty on Saturday was because otherwise I would have probably been on my phone the entire time. Because art imitating life, there was a bomb dropped.
Oh.
While we were in Doomsday.
Okay.
Thumbs up or thumbs down? Cena selling his soul to The Rock.
Thumbs motherfucking up. I unfortunately was on Saturday night while I was there at Doomsday. I was trying to definitely not post stuff on Facebook for Doomsday, right? Because I wanted to commemorate the fact that I was there, the fact that it was happening, let people know this and that. I was on Facebook and trying to see other posts of people from Doomsday on Facebook. But because of that, I did get spoiled on the John Cena heel turn because the internet fucking exploded. Like, I was kind of expecting it to be maybe my feed mostly Doomsday and some Elimination Chamber stuff. No, it was completely flipped the other way around. It was nothing but Cena, R.I.P. Greg, Cena. And I was like, oh my god. So I was like, okay, well, I guess Cena turned heel. God damn, all right. So I was spoiled on it. I still enjoyed the shit out of it whenever I did actually watch it.
Likewise.
Yeah.
It rarely happens, but it turned chicken shit into chicken salad. Okay. Especially hearing the rumblings afterward. Because maybe you don't know this.
Okay.
The original idea was Cody was actually going to accept The Rock's offer.
Okay.
Does that make any bloody sense?
No.
Did the build-up to this match, build-up to the reveal, make any fucking sense?
No, I was so confused by it. I was already checked out. I was like, this is going to be stupid. And I don't... What do you mean, sell the soul to The Rock? Why is he... This is some Undertaker shit. Why is he asking for souls? This is dumb. Like, I don't like it. It's stupid.
They build up to the match. There's 6 people in the match. Damian Priest, he's still finding himself as a good guy.
Yeah.
It's not going to be him.
Yeah.
Logan Paul,
nah.
He's enough of a dick already. I don't think it would have done that much more to elevate his character to the next level. Seth Rollins. Do you really want to trust Seth Rollins? He's the one that put the Shield together, and he's the one that dismantled it.
Yeah.
And he fought The Rock last year.
Yeah.
Against the Bloodline. CM Punk, you can make a case. You can still make a case.
Yeah.
Because he's not there to make friends. He's there to make money.
Yeah.
But I would have... But I had already been brainwashed to the point of... There's no fucking way in hell that we're ever going to get John Cena as a heel. There's no way. None.
And then it fucking happened.
Travis Scott better count his 9 lives because he's going to get wrecked.
Yeah. Okay, so everything was good except for the fact that, 1, Travis Scott came out with them. And 2, Travis Scott stayed with them. Yeah. And Travis Scott tried to get himself fucking involved. Like, yeah. I still don't know why. Like, okay, maybe I get it that they used his music for The Rock's entrance.
Or they used his clout for viewership on social media.
I mean, maybe, okay, cool. But if you're planning on using somebody's clout, please do it. I get it. That you did that with fucking Cyndi Lauper back in WrestleMania 1. I understand. Same thing with fucking Mr. T. And, you know, all these people. You've used celebrity to get the clout. I get it. I'm not against that. What I'm against is rando for no reason being shoehorned into the storyline without any explanation right before or right after. Mm-hmm. Why the fuck was Travis Scott there?
And
why was it Travis Scott and not 2 Chainz or fucking Bun B or whoever else it could have been? Because it was so random. It was random that it was Travis Scott.
It was random that he stayed out there.
Yeah.
It was that Netflix debut where Travis Scott was lighting a fucking blunt in LA, and then out came Jey Uso, and they came out together. And now that person that came out with Jey Uso in the beginning of January is now coming out with The Rock.
Yeah.
Why? And I don't even think it's Travis Scott. I mean, I would have the same opinion if it was my favorite artists, if it was James Hetfield from Metallica, if it was fucking Billy Joel from Green Day, if it was Lady Gaga, if it was fucking Beyonce. Like, what? Why are they there? They are not synonymous with in-ring pro wrestling. You could have delayed that and have, like, Travis Scott show up every now and then separate from this, like he did with Jey Uso in January. And then at WrestleMania, maybe he shows up and he's the next guy.
Right.
You know, but just him there for the sake of being there for all intents and purposes, it took me a minute to remember that he came out with Jey Uso. And I'm sure a lot of wrestling fans that are complaining about Travis Scott's involvement at Elimination Chamber probably forgot about that.
Cody.
Probably forgot about that. So there could be some kind of story, but in that moment, it didn't need him.
No, especially if you were planning the biggest heel turn of all time. the only other one that could be bigger or is the fucking Hogan. The Hogan NWA heel turn, or NWO heel turn. That's the only thing that comes close.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the biggest fucking heel turn of all time didn't need Travis fucking Scott.
Yeah. It was the salvation of the story being told up to that point because it made no sense.
Yeah.
And I would have been curious to see where they were going if it was anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
But now that it's Cena, they have my attention.
Yeah.
My undivided attention.
Yeah.
Well, to an extent. That next Monday on Raw, I was watching that opening CM Punk promo.
That was so good.
And then by the second hour, when they made it clear that Cody wasn't going to come out, he was going to come out on SmackDown to talk, that meant I'm done watching Raw. Because I'm not watching 3 hours on Monday.
Yeah, fair.
But, dude, that was everywhere.
Yeah.
ESPN, CNN, Comedy Central, Daily Show. Fuck, man. It got a lot of pub.
Yeah.
A lot. And I'm going to say it because I'm that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the gooch in between the balls and the asshole.
Yeah.
I reveled in the tears of the baby children. All the compilation videos on Facebook and on YouTube of all these fucking kids crying, the Break-A-Wish Foundation, because they're their favorite hero. Even the kids in the audience that had all the gear. Oh, man, loved it. It brought back flashbacks to when Sheamus had beat John Cena in Dallas for his first world title run, and all the kids around me are crying. I'm like, yeah, this is going to work. This is definitely going to work. Wow. Yeah. That was good.
Yeah.
Very good. Just, it dragged a little bit getting up to there, especially with the entrances, everything, Cody. I'm an aging, jaded wrestling fan.
Yes.
I knew at that point it was going to be Cena before the turn happened. But I could see how a lot of people didn't.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't going to be anyone else coming out. There wasn't going to be CM Punk, who just got hosed by Seth Rollins, wasn't going to be the guy. It just, and it made no sense. And there would have
been Cena still in the ring,
and there was no sense. There would have to be like a dozen 30-second promos to try to cover up the fact that all of a sudden the American Nightmare is finally going to just team with The Rock.
Right.
I think that would be a shit heel turn, because I've seen heel Cody in the independents after he left WWE, and it would be a step down. I want to see heel Cody in Bullet Club in New Japan. Yeah. I don't want to see Cody being The Rock's second after he was almost The Rock's second last year, until the fans made it clear and people in the back made it clear, nah, play it. Cody's got to be the guy.
Yeah.
Cody's got to be the guy.
Yeah.
So for him to suddenly be like, Rock, here's my soul. No. Didn't make sense. So this week, this Monday, Cody and Cena in the same building. That's going to be must-watch television.
All right.
Stay away from the internet.
Why?
So, there's another thing y'all might not know. The next 3 weeks, Raw is doing a tour of the UK.
Oh, that's right.
So they're going to be in Brussels, Belgium. And then they're going to be in Amsterdam, Netherlands. And I think they're going to be in Paris.
So Raw's at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
These shows are live because Netflix is worldwide. Netflix is going to air those shows live for their audience. In Amsterdam, in Brussels, in Paris. Which means live here is going to be 1, 2, 3 in the afternoon.
Wow.
12 in the afternoon, 11 depending on the West Coast.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be early. So if you don't want to get spoiled, if you want to wait till you get home and crack it open, on the bright side, I'm sure y'all might not know this either because y'all watch it live, the replays on Netflix are the commercial-free versions that they air around the world to everyone else.
Right.
So you'll be able to catch everything commercial-free.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
God damn.
Which is what I wanted from the beginning from Netflix.
Right.
Since they already have advertising on the mat, they have advertising around the ring, they have advertising in between the show, like their own pre-made commercials. I was hoping that a 2-hour Raw would be commercial free would suffice.
Right.
And hopefully after WrestleMania, we go back to those 2 hours. They've done a couple 2.5-hour episodes since they started on Netflix, so the possibility is there. But the next couple of weeks, stay off the internet on Mondays. Fridays is still going to be Take the Lake because USA Network. So, But yeah, that's going to be the plan.
Cool.
We had a chat on the last couple of weeks. Apparently, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn was cooking.
Yeah, that was a really good match.
I still haven't seen it.
Okay.
All I've seen from Elimination Chamber are the 2 Elimination Chamber matches.
Okay, the men's and the ladies.
Yes.
I liked Owens and Zayn. I think it was very, very good. I'm not surprised that it's very, very good.
It's Kevin Owens.
Because it's Kevin Owens. Yeah, fucking fight forever. They could have wrestling matches once every quarter for the rest of their fucking career, and I think I'll be happy. I don't know if I'm willing to say that the biggest thing out of Elimination Chamber is that match. Like, the Elimination Chamber itself, the men's chamber, is the biggest fucking deal. The women's Elimination Chamber was really good too.
Yeah.
That match was good as well, but it's overshadowed for me by the men's chamber and even the ladies' chamber.
Yeah.
The ladies' chamber was really fucking fun. It was good, and the twist with Jade, coming out there and attacking Naomi, and
Did you catch the little detail during that?
yeah, where she was going to take off her coat. Bianca was going to take off her coat, but then she realized that she wasn't coming for her. Yeah. I think that wound up being a little bit of a red herring, but whatever, man.
They got 6 weeks.
Yeah, they got time.
Mania.
They got time. But I thought it was great storytelling. That right there was great storytelling. And Liv, oh my God, Liv got her ass beat in that match.
You saw the pictures afterwards?
Yes, fuck, dude. She really took it, man.
That's
took
BDSM for you.
I guess so. Damn. But she did a really great job in that match too.
This isn't a slight towards the men because the men are more established. Every woman in that match came out better than they did when they went in.
Yeah.
Even Jade. And she wasn't even in the match.
Yeah.
I know it's an incomplete on my report card, but if I had to go solely on matches, women's match was better than the men's. Bell to bell.
Really?
I'd say so.
Just for in between the rings?
In between the belts.
Or in between the belts, sorry.
Yeah, I thought the women's match was better.
Of course.
Slightly.
Yeah.
But I thought the women's match was better. Of course, the last 10 minutes supersedes the entire show.
Right.
Obviously.
Yeah.
That's on another level.
Yeah.
But the women were great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially how good Jade looked when she swung that door into hit Naomi.
Oh, yeah.
Bro. She's her.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an overall review of the chamber?
I think so.
Sure.
I think there was another match in there that we might be forgetting, but
Tag match.
Trish
and Tiffy against Nia Jackson.
Whatever. Yeah. It's
Candice isn't doing it for me. She needs to go back to the NXT. Yeah, it's just...
That's a shame.
Raw happened the next night.
I mean, yeah, with that Punk promo.
Yeah.
That Punk promo just stole the fucking show.
So let's talk about the next Raw, which was last Monday.
Yeah.
In Madison Square Garden. Headlining with CM Punk versus Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
In a steel cage.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, before we pushed the red button tonight and got on the camera here.
Well, we thought we got on the camera.
We saw 2 matches.
We did.
The first one was CM Punk versus Seth Rollins in a steel cage, commercial free.
Yeah.
The match is over. What was your impression?
My impression was, damn, that was some good storytelling with shades of Punk of old. Right? during his AEW run, I thought that Punk was washed. And now that I'm seeing Punk in this environment, I don't know if it's just that it's a healthier environment for him overall, so that's why he's doing better, or if he just was able to knock off the ring rust in his year or two in AEW, so now he's in better ring shape in WWE, and it's just a coincidence that he went from one company to the other. I don't know, but it was definitely a showcase of, all right, yeah, he's got it. He's got it back again. Fuck, yeah, he's got it. So, maybe there is a little bit more credence to why he was unhappy in AEW, but I don't know. All I know is that, dude, he kind of sucked in those first few matches in that first year of being in AEW, and I was like, damn, he's not who he used to be. But this match made me like, fuck, he kind of is who he used to be. But there was, like I said, great storytelling. I don't know about how I felt about the ending. There's enough meat on that bone between Seth and Punk that I don't really need the Tribal Chief interjecting in this. I didn't really need it. Like, does it make sense after what Roman did, what he did to Seth, and then, okay, there was Paul Heyman in there consoling a Punk, and then, he went in there and attacked Punk. There is a little bit more meat on the bone, but this other bone was far meatier. I don't think that we needed this quite yet of Roman interjecting into this. Like, I think I would have wanted a little bit more of a definitive, like, closing of the chapter, maybe not the book, but closing of the chapter of Punk and Seth heading into Mania. While I was watching the match, I also had the feeling of, and this is going to be contradicting what I just said, well, damn, this match could be at Mania. This could end night 1 or open night 2. This could be a WrestleMania main event, even if it doesn't have the fucking title, because the story is so there. So yeah, it was that good, and it kind of ruined it for me with the Roman stuff. Kind of.
It did the exact opposite for me.
Okay, please.
And I needed to rewatch it to get it. Because...
let me have it.
Here's the example I mentioned earlier. We forgot about Travis Scott coming out with Jey Uso in the beginning of January for his entrance. And that could come back to remind us later.
Yeah.
WWE is doing the thing of refining their long-term storytelling.
Yeah.
Do you remember the sit-down interview between Roman Reigns and CM Punk with Paul Heyman as the conduit?
No, man. It's been a long week. I don't even remember what happened last week.
He had his motivations to help Roman.
Right.
His reasoning and his reasoning alone. So get the hell out of his way.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? Yes, what happened in that cage match? They were opening the door for each other.
Right.
Neither of them wanted to leave.
Right.
It was maybe 2/3 of the match before there was even a pinfall.
Right. They definitely pointed that out on commentary.
Neither of them wanted that fight to end. They wanted to keep going. Even past the point where Seth did the super stomp off the second rope to Punk. And he sat there. He wasn't trying to leave the ring. He sat there. Seth wanted to end it his way.
Right.
Just like Punk had all intents and purposes of ending it his way.
Yeah.
Neither of them got their way.
Right.
Because of Roman.
Right.
Roman wants Seth. Because Seth stomped his brains out at the Rumble.
Right.
And Roman and Seth are probably going to get that at all costs. Mm-hmm. Except someone owes someone else
a favor.
Seth versus Roman versus Punk should and will headline night 1.
You think so?
With all respect to Rumble and Chamber winners, That ends night one.
Think so.
Was it a title match that ended night one last year?
Was it?
No.
No? What was it?
Because I was there.
What was it?
Seth and Cody against Rock and Roman.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
you don't need a championship match to end both nights of WrestleMania, especially if story from night one bleeds into night two. Because
do you think this story for this night one could bleed into the story for night two?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that either Roman or Punk joins the LLC of The Rock, Cena, and Travis Scott.
Roman or Punk joins The Rock. Wow. I can't see Punk doing
I
that.
have another red herring now that we're at it.
Well, hold on. You know who's been known to maybe do something that's best for business? Seth for business. I could see Seth selling out to The Rock and Cena.
It'd be a swerve. I wouldn't expect it.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see where they go.
Yeah.
I'd throw out another red herring. When is the last time you've heard a heel be honest?
I mean...
This is not going to be Cena's last year.
Oh, yeah?
No.
No?
Because he's a heel now.
Yeah.
Why not save it till the next Mania instead of the end of the year?
Mm-hmm.
His last show is at a WrestleMania, is where he puts the exclamation point on his career.
Okay.
That's where it's happening.
Okay. So you think a lot of this hinges on this proposed three-way match?
Maybe.
Okay.
So without bleeding into the other match we saw, we finished Chamber, and we've got 2 nights of Raw in between, behind us. Is there anything that you would consider match of the week worthy?
Match of the week? Fuck yes. That Punk Seth match.
The cage match.
Yeah.
Anything more than that?
Remind me what we have for match of the year under the WWE category.
Nothing.
Nothing?
NXT's wild card.
Okay. Well,
we're in the middle of March.
So this versus nothing, this definitely wins. This is the best WWE match I've seen this year. And yes, that is including and taking into consideration Orton and KO, or excuse me, Sammy and KO. I think this match was better than Sammy and KO.
On the count of 3. 3.
Thumbs up. So you have a thumbs up too. Okay. So under WWE, we got Seth versus Punk cage match.
Cage match.
Okay.
As of now.
Hot dog, we have a wiener.
Before Mania, we have a match of the year candidate for WWE. Let's see if it holds it.
Let's see if it holds up.
Mania has a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Is it safe to say that's it with the WWE conversation?
For now.
Okay,
I think
good.
so. Unless we forget something.
Because we're about to transition to the other match that we saw tonight.
Right. We saw 2 cage matches before we started recording tonight.
Talk to him about the other match we saw.
So the other match we saw was a match that I attempted to watch on pay-per-view, but I was so goddamn tired I fell asleep before I can really sink my teeth into this match. And that is the semi-main event for AEW Revolution. Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher in a cage match. I watched all of Revolution up until this match, and that match is when my body said, nope, you're done. And I fucking fell asleep. And I woke up for hearing the announcer saying, your winner, Will Ospreay. And I fell back asleep. And then I woke up again whenever Christian was cashing in on Edge at the main event. I pretty much missed the entirety of that cage match. Like, I saw the first bits of it, but then I was out. I think I saw when Will Ospreay first started bleeding and bled on the cage, but I didn't see Fletcher lick the cage. I didn't see that part. So yeah, right.
I saw it live in the moment.
Okay.
I saw everything from Revolution live in the moment last Sunday.
You were able to stay up.
Yeah, I saw everything. I even made it through the melatonin that was fucking Moxley and Edge.
Yeah.
God, fuck. In a microcosm, in and of itself, the match was quite good, bordering very good. Knowing the history, knowing the story, knowing the matches, knowing the record, how we got to this point. But unfortunately, I can't view the match in a microcosm.
Okay.
Because I saw everything.
Okay.
And someone has to take control of the creative.
Okay.
And I say that in the sense of you could have had everything in Revolution happen the way it happened. I would have started the show with this cage match.
Oh.
I would have ended the show with the women.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Fair.
Not just because...
You mean the Hollywood ending?
The Hollywood ending.
Yeah. Okay.
Not just because I'm biased towards the women. And it isn't a negativity against Fletcher and Ospreay. I like that. I like them too. But I think the story... There's a hint more originality in the story with the women.
Okay.
But more importantly than that, was it 45 minutes before Will Ospreay started bleeding that we had the women bleeding?
Mm-hmm.
It lessened the meaning. It cheapened the impact.
Okay.
For me of watching Ospreay bleed 4 minutes in.
Yeah.
And then I can't judge this in a microcosm today because WWE had a story that had just as much rivalry, that had just as much fervor, that had just as much hatred, and they didn't have to go to the cliche extremes. Oh, I gotta fly off the top of the cage. Oh, I gotta pose on the top of the cage. Oh, I gotta bring thumbtacks. Oh, somebody has to break in the cage door and we gotta have interference. Oh, we gotta have a barbed wire bat. Oh, we gotta have this. Oh, God. Punk and Rollins did so much more with, in hindsight, so much less.
Okay.
And they don't have to wake up wondering how much of their career they just left in the cage the night before.
All right,
you know what I mean?
All right, yeah.
And it made me want more. And this is hard to say. I don't want to watch Ospreay wrestle for the next few weeks.
Damn.
I don't want to see Fletcher I don't want to see Fletcher until he has about as much hair on his head as I do.
Damn.
Like, it was almost like an aging process watching that cage match. That I saw so much of it that I felt old. Because I've seen so just break this down. Nuts to bolts.
All right.
Percentage-wise, how much of that match was brand new that they hadn't already done in the 2 matches in AEW so far, let alone United Empire in Japan? How much of that was new to them? How much of that was new to wrestling?
I don't know. I don't know if there was anything that new, like any spots or moves or anything. Maybe a Spanish fly off the top. I mean, we've seen plenty of stuff come off the top, but maybe not specifically a Spanish fly.
Which Ospreay landed all wrong.
Yeah, Ospreay
thought he fucked up his arm there.
Yeah. I thought he fucked up his hip, but either way, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm struggling to figure out where was originality, because there was a lot of stuff that was in there that we've seen before. You're right. We've seen thumbtacks before. We've seen, hell, even the most original thing to them in their feud is the screwdriver, but we've saw the screwdriver before.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I struggled to say what was original in this match.
Yeah.
I see your point.
What in that match was worthy of them risking their life and their career as much as they did in that match?
What was worth it is they fucking stole the show. That was the best match. That should have been the main event. That was so fucking good.
Today.
Okay.
That wasn't what you said days ago.
Okay.
I still firmly believe what stole the show was the women.
Okay.
The Hollywood ending.
Okay.
And that's coming from a guy that has made it clear on this podcast and to you guys that I am not a fan of watching women suffer.
Okay.
As far as bleeding,
okay,
glass, all the stuff that they did.
Yeah.
But they've done it to themselves slowly and marginally leading up to the bloody shoes already at ringside.
Right,
The glass on the tape of the hands.
Yeah.
The hardcore table with the Hollywood logo on it. Them starting the match on the ramp because they couldn't wait.
Right, yeah, that was really good.
The stuff off the stage, that warranted that because that was the theme of the story. It was a Hollywood ending in the shadows of the Hollywood sign in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
Half charred still. You know, that there was more point to what they were doing. There was stuff there that I hadn't seen them do. But they had to do it because they went that far, and that's what they had to do to finish it.
Yeah.
And that's my match of the night. The women's match. And I'm not going to front. MJF and Hangman, solid. For what it's worth, Outrunners came out looking better than they did.
Fair.
Hurt Syndicate made them look good.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a squash, but they got their stuff in, and they look good.
Yeah.
The match was a little long, and I wasn't expecting the title to change hands. Mm-hmm. But I will swallow some pride and say the last couple of matches have been the best physically that I've seen Mercedes Moné have in AEW.
Okay.
Omega and Takeshita, what the fuck? I mean,
that was great. Yeah.
That was great.
That was, to me, the third best match of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what else. Okada and Brody was a banger. Yeah. That was fun as shit.
It was fun.
I'm kind of bummed that Okada didn't drop the belt. I don't know. I hope he doesn't get Moxley syndrome where he doesn't want to drop it. You know? What else happened there?
Moxley and Copeland was trash.
Moxley and Copeland, not only was it trash, the ending
was trash.
Almost, I emphasize the word almost, ruined what could have been one of the best pay-per-views AEW's ever had.
Yeah.
In front of 11,000 people.
Yeah.
In the old Staples Center in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking coast to coast, 11 grand in the old Staples Center, double that at Madison Square Garden, and then you trickle in another 3 grand for the next night at the theater at Madison Square Garden for NXT. Wrestling's back. We eating.
Yeah, we are.
We can't complain about what's on the table because there's something for everybody right now.
Right.
God damn. The only saving grace, and to counterbalance the other end of the spectrum, if Christian would have pinned Edge while he was still being choked out by Moxley, and Moxley not realizing it, not only would that have saved the night,
yes,
it would have salvaged the entire patriarchy storyline.
Yep.
And that's the other thing
that would have been the best way for it to end.
And that's the other thing that boggles my mind.
Yeah.
And I'll explain this very quickly. Christian comes in, does DQ in a match that should have stopped at DQ. We'll let it go. He signs a contract, hands it to the ref. They ring the bell. Shivani on commentary. It's officially a 3-way, which means no disqualification.
Right.
Where was the patriarchy?
Good fucking point. Damn it, Nick Wayne, where were you?
Where was Tits McGee to have Moxley staring at her long enough for Renee to not give it up for the next month?
Yeah.
Where was Wayne and the other kid, Kip Sabian?
Yeah.
If this was planned perfectly, you could have had Luchasaurus come back to a fucking pop.
Yeah.
Because he almost retired through pneumonia. Mm-hmm. And he's starting to get better. And he's starting to get himself in some kind of shape. Just for him to turn and go back to Christian. But to help Christian win the title.
Yeah.
And Moxley's like, yo, Blackpool Combat Club, Death Riders, I'm still not prepared for that.
Yeah.
Really solidify something different.
Yeah.
Get some of the people that are not former WWE people over.
Yeah.
You had Mox, Christian, and Edge fighting for the reputation of of AEW.
I think I pretty much agree with everything that you said about the main event. I don't think there's much that I could add other than a big...
We'll get the bed ready because this coming Wednesday they're running the match back. It's a street fight. Mox versus Cope.
No.
For the title.
No. You know what this feels like to me? This feels like the match that they did with the Acclaimed after the Acclaimed got that huge fucking groundswell of support at the pay-per-view that they should have
lost.
Yeah, they should have won and they lost
in the Grand Slam.
Yeah. Maybe that's could be what's going on here because they saw how shit this was. You even have Bully Ray talking about how shit it is, Yeah. So maybe that's what it is. They're just going to give it to Cope and just let Cope take it off of Mox and just let Mox cool.
Swerve and Ricochet was a banger too.
Oh, yeah, that was really good. Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah.
Now, that led to some scratching of the head of the end of that match, which was Nana coming out, intimidating Mox, and then Swerve jumps on him and hits him, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. So... we're not really done with Edge. Christian's kind of entered himself in here. Mox is still the champ, but the number one contender is Swerve. So just Swerve versus Mox in whatever. Just another challenger for Mox. That's going to suck. I really would think that Swerve should be the next uncrowned guy.
The next pay-per-view, I think, is in 3 weeks, if not 4 weeks. AEW Dynasty in Philly. AEW Dynasty last year was where Swerve beat Joe for the title.
Nice.
You missed Dynamite last night. There was a backstage promo, Swerve and Edge face to face because they'd announced the rematch, and Edge giving Swerve props for each other of, hey, if I'm facing Moxley, I'm putting him in the dirt. If I'm facing you, respect. First time ever.
All right,
let's get at it. So they tease that, so it's pretty sure that Mox is still winning.
Yeah. All right. So enough about the main event scene with AEW, because you kind of got to say your piece. I didn't really get to say my piece. I think the match of the night is Will by God Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher. I do think it is. I was of the opinion that it was a Hollywood ending until I actually saw in its entirety this match. Now, it's not without its faults. I will give it that. But the faults that I give it aren't the same faults you gave it. God damn, guys. We really need to, in 2025, stop the Kawada kicks. No,
it's not real.
Nobody does them good enough to make it look as badass as people want it to look. The Kawada kicks look so soft. Everybody does it soft. It looks like Mrs. Yes kicks. Like, they're so not good. And there was multiple spots by both Ospreay and Fletcher doing the Kawada kicks. Stop it. Now. Get help. Reach out to somebody. Stop it. You're better than this. Stop it. No more Kawada kicks. Done.
Leave flowers in his grave, for fuck's sake.
Jesus. Kawada kicks fucking suck, man. So
you know what else sucked?
Okay, I wasn't done.
This is a thread through the whole fucking night, and it's been a thread throughout most of AEW. Someone needs to medicate Tony Schiavone.
Schiavone?
Yes.
Why?
Because he's bipolar.
Okay.
There's a duality that is presented on television where Tony Schiavone on Dynamite and on the pay-per-views is a goddamn Muppet.
Okay.
Good call, Taz. Great call, JR. That looks about right, Excalibur. When he and Nigel are doing two-man commentary on Collision, it's classic WCW. Tony Schiavone makes sense. He is a fan like us. He is a lot more valuable in a two-man booth instead of being overcrowded on the pay-per-views and being a third, if not a second, play-by-play to Excalibur and to JR.
Okay.
He's the lead play-by-play there. The other thing that wore me out is a problem that I didn't realize until I saw this pay-per-view.
Okay.
It's part of the reason why I'm starting to tire out with some of these long-winded AEW matches. Because Excalibur does something on commentary that's been rubbing me the wrong way.
Oh, shit.
There's too many times where someone hits a finisher, and instead of Excalibur being full of excitement going, oh my God, is this going to be it? It's a 1, it's a 2, it's a, oh my God, it was that close. Instead, Excalibur's like, oh my God, this has to be it. This has to be it. 1, 2, oh my God, it's not a 3. Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, if you sound like you're tired of the match already, you want it to end.
Okay.
And then you laugh it off because it's, we're still going. It's HBK Taker, WrestleMania 25. Let's start over. No. You're supposed to have that feel of every fall is a near fall. Not assume that almost every near fall is going to be a fall.
Yeah.
If you want it to end, fuck it. I want it to end. Why is this pay-per-view 4 hours, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Get over with. Yahweh.
All right.
I know you're going to start noticing that now that I mention it. Next pay-per-view, you're going to be like, God damn it, Chris, you puto. Sorry I interrupted you because this was supposed to be your time.
Right.
But the more you started saying stuff, I was like, oh, go.
Yeah, so that was a big fault that I had with the Kawada kicks. Like, dude, the Kawada kicks doesn't make it look good. The other thing that I didn't quite like was all of the fellatio in that match. Like, do it once? Alright, that's fine. I get it. You're trying to put over how psychotic you are, that you want to taste the blood. I get it. But goddamn, Fletcher was fucking licking that fucking bloody pussy all over that match. God damn.
And then Ospreay did it too with his shin guard.
Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, wait, that's enough. That's kind of gross, bro.
Again, in front of Nigel on commentary?
Yes!
Come on, man.
Yes! Like, yeah, no. This is how you get fucking Hep C. Don't. Calmate, way.
And again, taking notes of what's going on that night. There's a clip on Van Vliet interviewing JD McDonough recently. And he goes, they started talking about the Super RKO at Survivor Series. And he's like, well, the original plan was, I was going to do a moonsault off the top. But they told me, nah, player, that's not for you. Charlotte's doing that. Or someone else is doing that for the women.
Yeah.
So come up with something else. As savage as thumbtacks to the dick.
Yeah.
Did they not realize there was going to be glass to the vaginal area for the women? Why?
Good point.
Here's a homework assignment.
Okay.
Tell me what they did in that cage match that was different than what Omega and Takeshita did. It's all the same moves. It's Ken, Ryu, Akuma, Dan.
Who's Dan?
Dan from Street Fighter 3.
No, I mean, who of those four are Dan? So I think Ken and Ryu are kind of easy. Right?
Go for it. I'll let you lead.
Okay, so Ken would definitely be Ospreay. Ryu is excuse me. Ryu is Ospreay and Ken is Fletcher. Right?
Omega's Akuma.
Omega's Akuma.
So that leaves Takeshita as Dan.
Okay.
But hey, I'd catch that picture if he autographed it and threw it at me.
I guess so.
Yeah, itadakimasu.
Anyway, goddamn, I'm gonna get through my defense of this match.
Well, first your offense.
Okay.
Before your defense.
Well,
you're still complaining. You have more complaints.
No, that was all. Well, no, yeah. Okay, so the blood, the Kawada kicks. I think that was it, right?
Okay.
Yeah. The blood of the
tax to the dick, bro.
Bro, tax to the dick. Okay, you know what? Maybe that is something a little bit new. Tax to the dick.
And Fletcher selling it after the kick out.
Yeah.
I'm not done, but God, I wish I was done.
Yeah. And the scrunchie in the balls. Right? The scrunchie that he pulled out to put onto the armband. And it was like, oh God, he had that on his cock. And he pulled it out. Like, okay, cool. So yeah, maybe that's like this different stuff that you didn't see in the other matches.
That has to taste like nair and ass.
Oof.
Oh. God.
Anyways, so yeah, there was some things that are different, but let me tell you why I like that match more than I like the Hollywood ending match. The Hollywood ending match was excellent. These two matches are kind of 1A, 1B for me. Okay, excellent match. I think that the Hollywood ending match was a little bit more poetic, and maybe if it did end the night like how you suggested, maybe it would edge it out a little bit, but it didn't. So I was like, oh, shit. I want to get there, but I'm not there because of that. Now, yeah, okay, the girls did the hardcore stuff and the bleeding first in the night. Okay, fine. If I'm looking at the pay-per-view as a whole, yeah, you're right. That's a no-no, right? You shouldn't have done that. But if we're looking at the matches individually, I think there was more intensity in the men's match. And I think there was also more intensity in this match than there was in Punk and Seth. You said Punk and Seth did more with less. I think Punk and Seth did less with less. I didn't feel the visceral hate that is supposed to be in the feud of Punk versus Seth, but I did feel that in Ospreay and Kyle.
When you say visceral, is it more of action or is it more Ospreay bleeding within 4 minutes? Is it visceral or visual?
I think it's visceral. I think there was just so much intensity. Okay, yeah, sure, he bled within 4 fucking minutes. You're right. But it made fucking sense because they were that intense. And in fact, I think the hate between those two is greater than the hate between Seth and Punk. Because I felt that there was more intensity in that match. And if it wasn't for the fucking blood fellatio, I think it would have been like, all right, cool. Like they didn't even start licking each other, right? But it was, oh yeah, okay. I think they really hated each other more, and they displayed that disdain a little bit better than Punk and Seth did.
I think we're looking at it from two different spectrums.
Probably.
Because from what I'm gathering, your definition of visceral was the levels of insanity that it went to.
Right.
And that is almost every cage match, every Hell in a Cell, mostly Elimination Chamber. It felt like you had to be rated R to be scary. Or you had to be rated R to instill fear, which was a lot of that match. The visceral with Punk and Seth, you have to read between the lines. Mm-hmm. The cage match in AEW, it didn't matter if you escaped or not.
Right.
The match with WWE, they went straight to punches. They went straight to swinging. They went 2/3 of the match without a pinfall. Mm-hmm. They opened the door daring the other person to leave. Neither of them wanted to leave.
Right.
They were hitting each other with their own finishers.
Yep.
Seth hated CM Punk so much he wanted to beat CM Punk the way Cena beat CM Punk 2 weeks before.
Okay.
That visceral. To land the message home without having it to be spelled out for you. Visceral in AEW is, I gotta bleed. Ow, my balls. screwdriver stabbing. WWE is, if you paid attention to everything up to this point, everything that we're going to do is about to make sense. And the cherry on top is that neither of them got their way because Roman fucked it up for both of them.
Both of them.
Both of them.
Okay.
That's why I'm leaning more towards that. Now, we're at an impasse.
We are.
Because your match of the week from AEW is the men's death match. Mm-hmm. And my match of the weeks from AEW is the women's death match.
It is.
So as of now, AEW still blank.
Hold on a minute, playa. Hold on.
All right, Dario Cueto.
We have a little bit of a different format this year.
Nah, I wouldn't do it. I'm not putting both of them on there.
What's our wild card right now? So we have 3 categories in a wild card. For category 1 is WWE, which we just added something.
Raw and SmackDown only.
Raw and SmackDown. Then we have
AEW. Ring of Honor.
Uh-huh.
Everything else is third, and then there's a 4th slot.
Okay. So AEW, Ring of Honor, and then everything else. So what we're looking at here is adding something to WWE, which we already established earlier in the show we were gonna, right?
I think we removed Jordan Grace and Tessa Blanchard with something else. I don't remember what it was because I haven't updated it.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. And here's another monkey wrench I'm going to throw in that plan.
Okay.
As solid as Elimination Chamber was, what you saw and what I saw, as solid as what Revolution was, last Tuesday's episode of NXT was another certified banger.
Oba versus Moose was so much fun. Holy shit, that was fun.
Versus the Hardys.
Yes.
The expertise got Hardys the win.
Yes.
Grace and Roxy.
Mm-hmm.
Julia versus Vaquer. I'm kind of bummed that the dirt sheet spoiled it for me. I kind of already knew who was going to win.
That was beautiful.
But in typical Chris fashion, all that met my expectations.
Okay.
Ethan Page and Javon Evans exceeded my expectations.
I 100% agree.
That boy bouncy.
Yeah, he is.
God. I have a newfound appreciation for the prick Ethan Page.
Yes.
And
I'm glad you're finally on board with the Page train.
And I am officially willing to spend money to see either Ethan Page or Javon Evans.
Wow, okay.
The busting up of the mouth was a bit corny because the capsules and shit, but they're kids. This is their proving ground. This is their LFG. This is their NXT game show before NXT was an actual brand.
Yeah. Damn,
dude, there's nothing but upside with Javon Evans.
Yeah.
I don't see I've yet to see a negative. It's not that he can cut a wrestling promo. He cuts a promo that makes you believe in him, that makes you sympathize for him, that makes you fucking relate to him, which is what a lot of people in AEW forget to do.
Yeah.
There is no holds in Javon's game right now. I'm waiting for it, and it hasn't happened yet.
We definitely saw a different dimension of Javon in this match because this was also a hardcore street fight, whatever you want to call it. I forgot what they dubbed it as, but I saw Javon as a pipe cleaner, flippy dippy, bouncy guy. This match gave him a little bit of a mean streak, gave him a little bit of street cred, gave him a little bit of like, all right, this dude's tough.
Yeah.
Not only is he bouncy, but he's
sturdy.
He's sturdy and he could fucking hold his own. And
that springboard over that leap over the top rope to do the cutter on the table.
Yeah.
And then following it up with the helo over the announce table, almost into the first row.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
That's good.
He's got hops.
It's a shame if this would have happened 2 weeks before or 2 weeks after, he might be on his list.
Ooh. That match?
Yeah.
Okay.
That match with Ethan.
Okay. So then...
If you wanted to do a wild card invoking the Arnoldo clause, I would stick the NXT match over Jordan Grace and Tessa Blanchard.
I'd make it
with all respect to the women. If we haven't already done it the episode before, Javon and Ethan deserve that rub. That was good. There's different reasons why Grace and Tessa are on this list to begin with. They deserve the flowers they got.
When it comes to Grace and Tessa, really, yeah. I think that the Hollywood ending matches will beat that out easily. Mm-hmm. Easily. I am willing to say that we could put that one on there, replacing as the wild card, replacing that match with the Hollywood ending. But then my other feeling would be, well, now the AEW Fletcher versus Ospreay match should be as the AEW candidate. Mm-hmm. That's how I'm leaning.
This was the entire problem with having the wild card slot.
Yeah,
I called it last year.
Yeah,
y'all wanted to play, so here we are.
All right.
So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking we have 2 match of the year candidates from one show from AEW. Plain and simple, we have 2. So if we have 2, that means one's going to go in the actual contender slot, one's going to go in the wild card slot.
So Hollywood ending over the ladies.
Yeah.
And Fletcher versus Ospreay.
Yeah.
AEW proper.
Yeah. Now, if Arnold or Hector or Robert Medlin or if anybody else says that I need to be outvoted and we need to flip those 2 and make the men's match the wild card and make the women's the AEW entry, cool. I'm okay with that if I'm outvoted. But I really think these 2 matches are both match of the year worthy. And the fucking cage match is the WWE pick. The Seth and Punk match is the WWE pick. Oh, Jesus. Oh, are we thumbing up that? Do you agree?
Let's do it.
Jesus Christ. All right, update your note now. That way you don't fuck up.
Let's do it.
Jesus Christ. All right. Well, damn. Sorry. Big consolation prize to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Also, big consolation prize to your boy Bouncy, Javon Evans, and Ethan Page. Although I am very, very, very happy to hear that you're coming around on All Ego Ethan Page. That's nice. So, but I think that this last couple of weeks illustrates how much of an embarrassment of riches we have right now with wrestling. Yeah. We're on the road to WrestleMania, and we had some banger matches that aren't WWE matches that are put on here. And then we have some shit that's really, really good that's going to influence WWE as well. Yep. So, yeah, we could have...
And it's speaking of embarrassment of riches, it's good. Part of the reason why I was a fan of putting the idea of putting Seth and Punk on here is that we have the benefit of hindsight, which is in the moment. I'm streaming this off of an international feed, so when I saw it live, I saw it commercial free the way you just did.
Right.
If you saw it yesterday and were going in and out of commercials, or you might have been going in and out of sleep, you could still catch this the next day the way everyone else got it intentionally.
Yeah.
Without the commercials. So usually we've said, "Oh, this is the best TV match," but I'm not going to put it on there because I'm missing half of this match. Yeah. So, yeah.
I mean, it's still March, so it's early.
Yeah, and we haven't even gotten into Mania season yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, we're in Mania season. We just haven't gotten. To Mania itself. So, Chris, once you're done tapping away there, would you be able to see what's being said in the live chat? Because it looks like we actually have live chat over there. Is that from when the live?
That's from earlier.
That's from earlier when it went down?
Unless it went back up again and came back down again. Mm. Yeah.
All right. Well, I had a little bit of fun.
I had a blast.
You mean on the show? Because I was referencing something else.
Go for it.
I had a little bit of fun this past weekend.
You were working.
I was working.
You got the envelope.
Yeah.
Where?
So, Texas Combat League. Unbeknownst to me, This was one of their first shows. I didn't realize that. But yeah, it was their first show. And it was on Long Point Drive. So it was in Houston proper. So kind of like north of I-10, right outside of the 610 loop. So kind of in that area over there. Mm-hmm. And it was... It was... We had some good matches. We had a ladder match. A 6-man ladder match, basically for a briefcase for a shot at any title. We had a 2 out of 3 falls lucha match that was really good too. And the main event was another ladder match at TLC, which that's just the way the card came together. And we have a champion now, the Texas Combat League Elite Champion, and that's CJ Renegade. He defeated Alex Ray. Now, Alex Ray, he was kind of screwed because he won the actual match, but then the owner of the promotion came out and said, hey, congratulations, but we don't want you as champ, and low-blowed him and said, hey, we're restarting the match. And then CJ Renegade came back to life and then put him in a submission hold and then won. So, he's the champ now. So Alex Renegade got a little screwed. But it was a fun show. It was really cool. And like I said, it's in Houston proper, not at the Houston Premier Arena, somewhere else, Long Point Drive. I believe they call it the Elevation Dojo. So you might want to come check it out the next time we have a show. Now, Texas Combat League, some of those guys that are running it are from the Valley. So their next show is going to be May 18th in Kingsville, Texas. So you might want to, if you're in the area in that side of Texas, the Valley, Rio Grande Valley area, come on out May 18th. I'm sorry. I'll find out when the next Houston show is, and I'll let y'all know as soon as I do. So yeah, that was really fun. There was definitely more of a lucha vibe to it, a little bit more Hispanic vibe to it than what I was used to with some of the other promotions, but that was fucking fun as shit. So yeah, I liked it. So yeah, your boy's getting more bookings. Speaking of more bookings, not this upcoming weekend, but the following weekend after that.
You're double dipping.
I'm double dipping. So the 22nd is Riot Wrestling Federation Turf Wars. RFW versus UPW. Finally, we're getting a 5-on-5 special guest referee, David Duperon. Whew, man.
Champ of some sort, right?
Yeah, Texas champ. So he was the final Texas champ of UPW when UPW went under. And he still has that title because it's for a defunct
but no one
promotion.
has beaten him.
But nobody's beaten him.
No one ever beat him.
But now he's going to call it right down the middle as the referee. So we'll see how that works in that 5-on-5 match with Team Riot versus Team UPW. So Turf Wars 3. So yeah, that's going to be awesome. The 22nd in Santa Fe, Texas at the Volunteer Fire Department.
That's Saturday.
Sunday, your boy is also doing ring announcing for Native Ways Entertainment. So Saturday and Sunday, back to back. So Native Ways is going to be right after that as well. And that's in Alvin, Texas. So
Taxes. Don't forget to do your taxes.
Yeah, it is that season. Alvin, Texas. So it's right, hop, skip, and jump away from Santa Fe. So if you're in that side of Texas, you're going to have plenty of wrestling to kind of get to that weekend. And plenty of me, because I'm going to be there. Doing announcing, commentary, all that shit. So yeah, come check it out.
Tentatively,
yes,
our next show would be in a few weeks. We would be previewing AEW Dynasty, which would be
Dynasty.
Yeah, die clean or die nasty, but you gonna die. So until then,
so you said,
unless you got anything else,
you said 2 weeks,
2 or 3.
2 or 3. We'll figure that out.
It's April 5th.
Okay. Hopefully our live feed will be working at that time.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. So, yeah, if you're catching this on the replay, thank goodness the replay worked.
Yeah.
But if it didn't work, well, thank goodness our audio backup recording worked and you're just listening to this as an audio.
Yeah. We got faces for radio anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Save the women in your life.
Yeah. On that note, adios, my friends. Keep it classy.